Hello, everybody. This is Nate. Thank you so much for joining me for this show. I am so glad that you're watching this program. I am actually answering 50 of your questions that you asked in my community page. So thank you so much for all your questions. I really appreciate them. Some of them I've already looked into them, and I will give you my answers and predictions. As I go. And then for some of the other ones, I will do some of those readings, pulling cards live. So it will be a little bit a mix of something that I've looked ahead and some of the things that I'm going to look live during this reading. Just a couple announcements before we get started. I am doing a class on April 5th, and this class is a Lenormand class, and it includes a grand tableau. So if you are interested by this method, if you want to learn something different than tarot, I really recommend that you get to this class. It will be recorded, so if you're not able to join live on April 5th, then you will be able to get the recording. And then I have a intermediate tarot class. So people who have already a good notion of the meaning of the cards, primarily the majors, but want to learn kind of next level, there will be a class on May 3rd, and you can also register for that class as well in the same link in the description of my video. And if you actually want to get the beginner's class of tarot, the recording is also available for purchase in that same link. So there's that. Also, I am doing free readings every Sunday live. You just have to come up 5 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. Um, and also, very important, like I do every time with those prediction videos, I select randomly someone to win a 3 questions reading, and I will announce the lucky person at the end of this video. The way for you to win this reading is very simple. Make sure you subscribe and like and put any comment you want on this video, and you will automatically be entered. And you will know if you won in about 2 weeks. Um, Anything else? Well, yes, talking about subscribing, I am this close to 10,000 subscribers. And I know about half of you who watch are not necessarily subscribed. So it's free. It would really help if you can subscribe. I feel like I've never really made that kind of request so far as a big push, but it would really help to get to the 10,000s. Thank you so much. I know that I've met a lot of you, and it's a pleasure every time I meet you in person or for a reading. So let's get started. I will start with the US, and there's a question from Tina talking about the future of Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. And so I actually did a video that I recommend you go. It's with Andre Carr, who does astrology, and we talk about all the cabinet members in astrology and with cards. So I really recommend, because I already talk about Pam Bondi. I do see issues, her and Trump having issues, but in 2026, possibly leaving. I'm just going to put a card here about Pam Bondi. How is she feeling right now? What's going on with her? So Pam Bondi. Four Swords. It's almost like she's trying to stay away from trouble. Um, yes, I feel like she will communicate soon, but she's trying to stay away from trouble. We know that she had some really bad words towards Jasmine Cricket, and like don't say anything bad about Elon Musk and something really ridiculous. She's realizing from the energy that, no, there's nothing you can do. This is free speech. So the answer to Tina, the future of Pam Bondi, I see trouble for her in 2026, issues with Trump, possibly leaving, but not this year. Ray is asking if there if there's a whistleblower within the Trump cabinets. Well, something that I've mentioned in previous video, and I feel stronger and stronger about this. I see some of the cabinet members writing books. I feel like some of those conversations are tapes. People are protecting themselves, and I feel like, yes, they're starting to take notes and record information. And I do see Trump, he should know better, but he's not careful about this. And I feel like this is going to be creating problems in the future. Ali was asking about Judge Bosbury, who's will he halt the Venezuela deportations to El Salvador, the whole El Salvador deportation. And I've also noticed that he's been assigned the situation with the Signal case. It's the same judge. So let's just ask, generally speaking, will this judge be able to halt and do right in those cases? Like, let's just talk about, generally speaking, with those cases. Will Judge Bosbury will be able to be successful? The High Priestess, I think that he knows a lot of things behind the scenes. King of Cups, I feel emotionally is very upset about what's going on. What will he do? Nine of Pentacles and then Three of Wands. He's assessing the situation. Ace of Pentacles, there's new information coming in, but the question is, will he be able to halt? Strength. Okay. He will be able to halt the situation, I feel, with the deportation and the Venezuelan Salvador situation, but I've also get the sense like the strength is going to be something on the Signal Vance Hegseth chat case. So I feel like he's taking his time, he's evaluating the situation, he's personally absolutely not liking it, but I feel like he's trying to do a very objective job. And I do feel like he's going to be able to halt the deportation and also starts to really look deeply into the Signal case. Now, do I see heads gonna roll with this case? No, I don't feel so, but I feel like it should scare them enough. But I don't see anything coming out of this whole Signal case, even though it's absolutely terrible. Dorothy is asking about Greenland. I know that Usha Vance and Vance are going to Greenland. I don't see Greenland being part of the US, but what will happen during their visit? Nine of Cups reversed, like they're not able to get what they want. It's funny, I have justice. Almost is like there's international laws or things being brought up by Greenland. Yes, I felt like they're not going to be received well. Okay, from Cricket and Addy Gaddy, will retirees will be able to get their SSA Social Security checks in April? Yes, I don't see a stop in April for the checks, but something that I mentioned in previous videos is that with all the staffing that has been reduced, I would be very careful if you're changing your address, changing anything, your direct deposit information. If you can avoid making any change, that I think would be very good. But I would avoid making banking changes or any kind of changes because I feel like there are risks with the smaller reduce staff for delays and problems. And so try not to make any changes. Otherwise, I feel like everything's going to be okay. Ginger is asking about the stock market in the US. Stock market, will there be a recovery in April? I'm seeing fluctuations in the stock market in April, like fairly large, but I feel like there's going to be a recovery, but some dips, but generally speaking, a small recovery. But there will be, based on all the announcements and all of that, tariffs and all that, there will be ups and downs. But generally speaking, I feel like it's better than March. Robert is asking if protests and marches will have a positive impact. Yes, I feel like it will. Um, Protests and marches, they're saying that it is a good thing. Calling your senator, calling your Congress people, all of that makes a difference in the end. Marie from Canada is asking what happened to Jessica Aber. I do feel that she was poisoned. I do feel that there's liquid involved. I do see that it was drinking something or being injected liquid. And this is straight up from the Russian techniques for entertainment purposes only. Karen is asking the US government in April, what do I see? I see a bunch of problems for Trump's in April. Nothing like a big shocking thing, but a series of problems with justing, stopping those projects along the way. Um, Not an easy time for Trump. Um, like I see, like he's trying something, he stop. He's trying something, he stop. He's trying something, he stop. Lots of yes, slow movement because he can. It's trying, but it's not going through. Frustration also. Janice is asking when will Fox News be held accountable for the disinformation, the lying, and all of that? As long as the money is coming in, they're not gonna stop. The money is kind of the factor here. There are the GOP Congress will when will they be held accountable? Well, I feel that this will happen at the midterms. I do see the House turning blue. In the Senate, I haven't looked yet, but I get more of a crisp view of the Senate, the House that I see blue. Senate, I don't know yet. It's still energetically fuzzy. Soul to soul, when will Trump be over? I've said that before. I will repeat it again. I do see Trump doing his 4 years, but I feel like there will be a health issues that will prevent him to do that. And the health issue, I've always seen a surgery, possibly a wheelchair. And so I feel like health will be his main problem. But if it's not health, I feel like he could go the whole 4 years. Now, I also do see with the House turning blue and maybe the Senate, him being weakened and the last 2 years being a big challenge for him, possibly an impeachment. Jen, will MAGA wake up in April? No, really. I don't see them waking up. They're still looking from a distance. Bunny, will Trump be accountable at the midterms? Yes. The answer is yes. I feel like with the House turning blue, at least, yes. I see 444. Florida election district 1. What do I see? I see it's keeping Republican for the special election, not Democrat, but Republican. Pam Richards, will the White House really clarify who's their friends, who's their foes as we get to April? Yes. It's not like a list that is being published, but we can tell even from watching, the way that Trump is working with Russia and who's they're helping. And we know by now with the Signal case with Vance, like he hates Europe. It's also one of the big things that transpired from the private chat. So clearly we know what's going on there at the White House in terms of alignment. Georgia Peach, Easter, is coming. How will it be for Trump? Will he be a Grinch at Easter? I kind of like that, looking at him as a Grinch. How will Trump feel at Easter? Trump at Easter. I get the Hermit and I get the Empress reversed. And so I feel like he's going to feel isolated And something wrong with Russia. Like it's not going his way. Maybe because he was thinking Russia would sign the deal and there's like delays. I feel like it will be a Grinch. Carmen, actually, this is kind of a similar question. How Trump is feeling now? How Trump, the card flew, the Five of Wands, battling. I feel like he's struggling, battling, fighting. That's the current energy. Not good for him. I feel this is mostly with justice, with the paralysis and the stop of what he's trying to do. CS is asking about the tariff. Will the tariff stay in April? Yes. I feel like he's very careful about the Chinese tariff, but I feel like the tariff will stay in April. Like, I don't see big changes regarding those tariffs. I feel like maybe some tweaking, but I don't see big changes on the tariffs. Tina, how Usha Vance feel about what's going on with the immigrants? See, the King of Cups reverse, it's like she's denying her own emotions. Ten of Pentacles, because money. She's vested, she's making money. She is following the money. Those people at the top, that's what they're looking at. And I feel like she put her feelings and thoughts on the side here. Helen, will there be World War III and a draft? No, I don't see that happening. Nothing says draft. Kanshana, will there be a Democrat governor for Nashville, Tennessee? No, I didn't see that. Angel Wings, do I see Democrats winning Florida seats? No, I don't see that in those special elections. I feel Republican. Georgia, Peach, will there be enough firefighters this summer for the fires? There are going to be some strong fires this summer, and generally speaking, there will be enough firefighters, but I feel like we will also see the impact of the Doge impact on the restructure and so generally I feel like they will be able to contain the fires, but there will be pressure because of the cuts. Stephanie, regarding the loans from the Department of Education, with the Department of Education possibly dismantled, will the loans be privatized? No, I don't see the impact on the loans, but I feel that they would have to be transferred but they will stay with the government, not privatized. Rob is asking about hurricanes, where I do see hurricanes during the season. Texas, I don't see anything like really bad or catastrophic for the hurricanes. Florida, I feel like the season's going to be pretty intense. Do I see a really bad situation like at Asheville in North Carolina, like last year? No. So to me, it seems more centered around Florida. Dragonfly is asking if will it be illegal to be gay? No, but no need to say that the Trump administration is attacking LGBTQ rights. And so rights will be reduced and dismantled. We already see that with trans personnel in the army. But illegal to be gay, no. Angel Wings. Schumer. Will Schumer stay or will there be a new leader in 2026? And I'm getting the sunshine here. I feel like there's going to be a new leader in 2026. Mark, will there be more layoffs from the government? With Doge, I don't think Doge is finished, and I do see more layoffs, sadly. Angie, where will the election, Trump and Putin relation, I mean, sorry, you were asking about the exposing the relationship between Trump and Putin. I feel like we're gonna hear more of that at the towards the end of the year, and I feel that as well some elements of Russian 2024 election interference being more visible. Will it change the result and prevent Trump to be president? No, I feel like unfortunately it's too late. Daniel is asking if there will be a Trump constitutional US government with Trump constitutional crisis in April. I don't see a constitutional crisis in April. Let's move to Canada. All right, so Aetherback is asking me if I see Carney winning. So this is interesting because I've done some readings before and I felt like pretty sure that Polyev would win by a very small number. But then yesterday I really did a deep dive and pulled some cards and I see the energy shifting. And so I am changing my prediction. This is not something I do very often. Like I feel like this is since I've done this channel, this is the only time. But I have to change it because I feel like the energy is changing, and I do feel Kearney will win. I see him winning. I feel like the energy has shifted because of Kearney trying to really pushing himself as an anti-Trump person, and so that shifted the energy. So I, this is one of those that I feel like he's gonna win now. How will Canada, this is Judith, how will Canada feel after the next election? Eight of Wands, I feel like it's going to be a relief for people. I see things accelerating. Yes, Three of Wands, planning for the future and trying to heal for the recent stress with Trump. This feels really good. Will, Marie is asking, will Justin Trudeau rebuild his relationship with Sophie Trudeau? I don't have that feeling, but I know they're good friends. I don't see them being back together. I feel like the energy says no, but I feel like they're gonna stay in touch and be good friends. That was for Canada. France, Prayer Warrior. Do I see the left winning in 2027? No, I do see the center right winning. I don't see the extreme right, but I feel like this is going to be a candidate from the center going to the right. The UK, a question from Wendy. The situation with the Labour Party in the UK. This year, I do see a lots of movements and changes. I felt like things are not going to go well for the Labour Party, and I see justice. So I wonder if there's going to be some sorts of justice problems, court actions, something doesn't, maybe a corruption case, something along that nature. So I feel like it's going to be rough for the labor. Turkey and the country of Turkey, there's been a lot of protests in Istanbul. Malin asked, what will happen with Turkey? The opponent to Erdogan, what will happen in Turkey? This is Erdogan, the King of Swords, the devil. That doesn't look good. The moon, hidden stuff. I feel like there's going to be more protest. The Eight of Wands feels like protest. I see more protest in Turkey. I feel this is just the beginning. Ukraine. And Lori was asking, why is the Prince of Saudi MBS so involved? It's the relationship with Trump, it's the relationship with Putin. The prince wants to invest, put a lot of money into the US. It's basically a money thing and a relationship thing. And because the prince talks well with Trump and Putin. And so I believe that between that and money, that's what, yeah, King of Wands. This is the prince and the leaders. What's this is all about? Eight of Swords, secrets, the High Priestess. Yeah, they're just trying to establish themselves as, yeah, they're trying to maneuver. Six of Swords. They're trying to be part of this peace talk to position themselves at the center and move things along with them with the idea of having more control financially and more being kind of recognized by their finances, but also diplomatically and bringing them as a nation. This is like almost like a PR exercise here. So that's what I'm seeing here with Ukraine and Russia. I do see that Zelensky is very smart now after the Oval Office incident. He's playing bluff, saying, "Yes, I want peace. I'm not holding this. I'm not holding this. Yes, yes, I want a ceasefire. I want." And so all the pressure is now on Putin and Trump. And I felt like he's playing his cards very, very well while Europe is helping more and more Ukraine. All right, that's all I had. I wanted to congratulate Debbie Christensen 4541 for reading the reading, and I will put the information down below. Please remember, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to subscribe, and put a comment, and you will be entered in the drawing for 3 questions reading. Other than that, I'll see you soon on the channel. Thank you for your support. Take care.